everything in the goddamn register. Open it up, you fucking worker.
Okay.
You shut up over there. Everything in here right now to me.
Don't do it.
Sit down.
Don't do it.
Sit down.
Don't do it.
We put together a deadly force training scenario in this diner with 2A advocate Colion Noir. We're doing this to train you on the tactical and legal aspects of when you can and can't shoot. Remember, Colion is using a specially modified Glock 17 because a firearm is the best tool you can use to protect yourself.
Where were you?
Told you. We're just out having a few drinks.
No, you weren't. Where were you?
With the guys.
I checked the location on your phone. Where were you?
I'm not those kind of guy. Okay.
I told you. We're just out having a few drinks.
Oh, my sister texted me.
She what?
She texted me. You were with her last night.
I don't know what to tell you, babe.
You slept with my sister. I could kill you.
Babe. Babe!
Hi.
Yeah,
How are you
order
doing?
for a pickup.
Sure. What's the name?
Cool. And everything in the register, please.
What?
Yeah, everything in the register. I mean, are you stupid? Can you not hear me? I'm standing right in front of your face. Everything in the goddamn register. Open it up, you fucking worker. And you shut up over there. Everything in here right now to me.
Don't do it!
Sit down.
Don't do it!
Fucking sit down, you son of a bitch. Just hold on.
Don't do it.
Wait, hey, hold on. Shut up.
Don't do it!
You, man.
Don't do it!
You. Now, bitch. Everything in the goddamn register. Open it up. Shut up over there. Everything in here right now to me.
Don't do it! Don't do it!
Colion, how'd you like it?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Very eye-opening.
I'm gonna ask you the very first question. How many times did you shoot?
Oddly enough, that's one of the things that I remembered and recalled. For some reason, there were some things that I specifically remember. And I'm like, I remember shooting 3 times.
Okay.
That was 3.
And we're here with criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Tom Grieve. Tom, Colion just said he shot 3 times. What did you see? Quick pause here to remind you that we have a super secret giveaway going on right now. It's absolutely free. Just click the link in the description down below to find out what you could win. Now back to the video. Colion just said he shot 3 times. What did you see?
8 is what the camera picked up.
8 rounds.
That's
fired at the bad guy. This is a perfect time to discuss making a statement to the police because you just came out of just a training scenario with just a little bit of elevated stress, and you swore.
I would have testified under oath that I shot 3
You
rounds.
fired 3 times. Tom, what happens when you tell a cop something that's not true?
Well, I mean, number one, you're looking at possible obstruction charges, but more realistically than that, obviously, on some sort of obstruction misdemeanor, it doesn't mean anything in the context of a potential homicide charge. What you are looking at, though, is, that's an easy thing for them to check out. It's an easy thing for them to talk to other witnesses about. If you've got a topped-off magazine, they're counting how many rounds you have left. They're counting the brass on the ground, right? It's an easy thing for them to check, and then to figure out from there, well, he got this wrong. What else is he not being honest with?
Yeah. Follow up on this. Bad guy was hitting the door, and we heard him holler on the way out. He took one in the back. So as he was running out through the door, he took one in the chest too. And you don't automatically fall down. It's not Hollywood. Yeah. But he was running away, and you might have got him once in the back. The goal we want, folks, is for you to go home safe.
Yeah.
Now you're.
I was like, once he's done with this guy, I don't know what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was an area for him to escape through. I thought that was just. I'm like, now he's a cornered, scolded dog. I don't know.
We tried to give you that information by sending our first actress out the door, so you
Gotcha.
knew that was an exit.
Gotcha.
Somebody left that door. Now we're watching. I tell people all the time. When you walk into a room, figure out a way to get out.
Gotcha.
And not always the way you came in.
Is the way.
Yeah. Because typically we want to go out the same way we came in, especially under stress.
Yeah.
We also put you in a real bad position to get to that exit with a bad guy over there with a gun.
Yeah.
But you sent your girlfriend out. And I'm not going to say you did wrong. That's for the prosecutor to say. You could have escaped this situation. And then there's no gunfight.
Right, at all.
And then you're telling your friends, I was in that coffee shop minutes before the gunfight happened.
Fair enough.
And that's what the prosecutor will say.
Yeah.
Right? She left, he could have left too. Had this been real life, right? Had the bad guy, is he gonna die out in the parking lot? Is he gonna bleed out? Whatever the case may be. And then what will happen is they'll do a medical examiner report. They'll try to figure out which shot killed him, right? So we know the bad guy got hit twice. Once somewhere from the front, once somewhere from the back. which shot was the fatal shot? And of course, the medical examiner, the ME, will do their autopsy. They'll say, maybe, conclusively, this shot what we believe to be the deadly shot. God willing, that was the first shot to the chest, right? And that might be the difference between, charges versus no charges. A homicide charge versus nothing.
And I'm not going to sit here and say that you can't shoot somebody in the back. This guy still had a gun out. You're in a gunfight with him, and the time it takes for you to decide to stop doing what you're doing is enough time for him to turn. And you can get a professional witness to talk about that and to help exonerate you. But you're going to need a professional witness because the whole world says, he shot a dude in the back. And I want to look at this just from the base level that any concealed carrier might see. We have an armed robbery, a bad guy with a gun. You pulled out your gun and engaged him. It looks from the outset, imminent threat of death or great bodily harm.
Yeah.
I used deadly force to stop the threat. There's way more than that going on in this little room.
Seeing people carry guns, open carry, doesn't bother me. If I go out and I don't.
Yeah.
However, in my mind, the moment you pull that gun and you use it intentively, or just or act aggressively in that regard, so I felt my life's in danger.
Yeah.
And that's why, even though they were engaging, I'm thinking at any moment he's going to turn to me, and now he's going to have to deal with. Now I'm going to have to deal with him.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm going to stop that before it even gets to that point, because he's already. I was aware that your life was in danger, and I cared enough in that. After you, he's coming to me. So if I can stop him getting to you, I don't have to deal with him possibly coming to me at some point.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's a lot deeper than that.
Yeah.
Right? Especially from a third party. Somebody else sitting back watching that could say, I mean, yeah, I get it, but did you really have to?
And that's going to be the question that the prosecutors are going to ask. Did you really have to?
No.
Is it could you have done something else?
Yeah.
Here's the pitch for prison. All right, the pitch to prison, the pitch for prison against Colion goes something like this.
Thanks.
Right? Here we go, YouTube. He could have retreated. He didn't. He could have left. He didn't. Do we know necessarily, when we're looking at all these different witness reports, about who provoked who when it comes to the guy on the couch, when it comes to the guy who, looks for all respects as the bad actor, right? But there's going to be questions there that some lawyer is going to raise as far as, look, yeah, he might be robbing the place, but that doesn't mean that he may not be privileged to use self-defense. And if that's the guy who is the legal person who's defending themselves, Colion might be looking at, we got homicide charges now because I attacked the wrong guy. Maybe if he waits another quarter second, half second, granted, good to go at that point. From there, we move on from a prosecutor perspective of we got 8 shots versus 3. So how much can we trust whatever else he told us, right? Yeah. And then, of course, we got the shot to the back. And then we're going to be talking about what happened to the guy who's robbing the place. I'm going to call him the bad guy here, right? What happened to the bad guy? Did he die in the parking lot? And then we get back to the discussion of the ME, the medical examiners, as far as which shot was the fatal shot, the first one to the chest or the one that he was running away from. Because, of course, as we all know, we only shoot to stop the threat. And yes, we can get into discussions in Colion's defense now. Absolutely, meritorious discussions need and deserve to be had as far as response time, what's reasonable under the circumstances of a high-stress situation. If somebody spins to run away and that all happens within a very small, reasonable amount of time, that a force expert's going to be talking about is, yeah, he may have spun and yeah, incidentally, as a result, may have shot him in the back. That doesn't change the fact that he was legally privileged to use self-defense at that moment in time based on neuroscience, chemistry.
God forbid you get a prosecutor who is more on the anti-side of the issue. I mean, now you've got somebody who's devoted to making their case against you. So there's that aspect of there. Just one thing I can pull away from this is I walked into this with a certain level of confidence just based on my experience, and I'm walking away realizing there are so much you can't control that you think you can control within the situation that you think you have covered, but you don't. Because that ball of yarn keeps rolling even after you put the gun down. And it rolls in a way that you can't control. And that's something I hadn't completely thought through in a scenario like this.
And you're absolutely right. It just keeps going.